I think we're live. That's it. No intro tonight. We are skipping the intro. Hopefully, you can see and hear everything okay. Normally, I have the intro running and it gives me a chance to kind of double check and set things up. But we're just going right at it. Yeah, everything appears to be good. What's up, guys? Welcome to Sunday Night Live. Good luck, says my watch. I just told my watch I'm about to go live, and my watch just told me good luck. Thanks for tuning in. It is Sunday, June 1st, a little after 8 p.m. And the truth is, before I do my live streams, I update the intro and I put the date in it, and I just fucked up and forgot. So that's why I skipped it. Sammy Wu is here, Vivian Johnson, Jennifer Gala, Mary W, Aunt Barb, Gertes, Lisa, feeling this one looks a little too vivid, Mike T, Marge, Vivian, boom, I'm probably just reading names over and over again, Jenny Kritzkamp, Drew Costin, Richard Holst, David Ing, Johnny, where were you this afternoon? It seems like all the YouTube walkers were hanging out. I was on my bicyclette. Math Doctor's here, Whitby Dude, Medano, Mandy, and everyone else. Thank you so much for tuning in. I don't normally have this thing on my chair when I go live. It kind of messes with the green screen. But welcome to a Sunday Night Live. You'll notice the thumbnail was done by AI. I also asked AI to make me a title for the stream, so we AI'd it up a little bit. And who can, let's just see who can spot something different with my stream tonight. There's one thing that is very different other than no intro and no green screen and a way better camera. But who can spot what is different other than that? Let's see if anyone can find out. And while you're trying to figure out what the hell I'm doing different tonight, we're going to have a bold and tropical Hawaiian style Spearhead Pale Ale. This is a 6% beer without boundaries. Epic Nation says plant, no. Mary W says chair, no. Lisa says AI was the ShamWow Travolgo guy. Vivian says that is not you, it looks too demented. Mike T says I bought bananas. You guys are all wrong. There's something so different tonight. Literally, like, I would not be able to do this on my other live streams. Why would I not be able to do this? Jenny K says I cleaned. I didn't clean. I don't clean. If you've ever been to my house, you will know that's like the #1 complaint. It looks neat on camera, and then you go there, and it's just like you're up to your ears in dust bunnies. Boom Production says the chat is in front of you. Aiden Thompson McGuire, you win. So this cheers is for Aiden Thompson McGuire, and only Aiden Thompson McGuire. Cheers to you, Mr. McGuire. Yeah, no pesky microphone tonight. Normally I use this guy. This is my Shure MV7. It's a like decently high quality mic. But tonight, I purchased a mic to go on the camera just so I could get some decent backup audio whenever I'm recording videos with this camera, which I don't really do. I'm relying on a wireless mic, and just in case something goes on, I want the on-camera audio to sound pretty good as well, so I have a backup track. So what I did was I bought a fancy dancy mic for the camera, but that adds all kinds of like background noise. It picks up my fridge, it picks up the hum of different things, stuff going by, because it's a cardioid mic, whereas this is a dynamic mic. So I ran an AI noise suppression filter, which kills all the background noise. So it should be dead silent other than my voice. And hopefully it sounds okay. I don't know. But Randy Ruck, $10. Cheers to you, Randy Ruck. Randy Ruck and Aiden Thompson McGuire, the only two getting cheers tonight. Thank you, guys. Lisa says, that's a high-level nerd situation. It's fine. Well, we can do a comparison between a cheap mic that is AI'd to the gills to sound good versus an actual good mic that should just sound good with no frills. Let me see. Let's do a little comparison. So this is me on the cheap mic, which I've tweaked to what I hope sounds pretty good. Let me mute that. How do I mute that? Mute. Okay. And this is me on the really good mic. Can you guys, this one probably sounds a little bit better. It probably sounds a little bit deeper. If I was recording a podcast, this is what I was used, but I did tweak the hell out of my other mic to make it sound as good as possible. That's what I was doing for like the 30 minutes before the stream. Jollykin says second one is better. Yeah, but the first one gives me the freedom. Deeper, but ambience wise, it's fine. So what do you guys prefer? Having this stupid thing in front of me bumping into it, or the freedom of this mic? Billy T says proximity effect. Lisa getting a little buffering. I suggest you upgrade your internet. Jenny K is getting buffering. Uh-oh. I don't think it's buffering. I think that might be let me check the old CPU usage. Maybe my AI is doing a little bit too much to make this mic sound better, and it's causing my computer to yeah, let's just go to the good mic. Let's not. Now we've got both going. Let's not tempt fate. Let me turn that off. Now hopefully it won't do that. Hopefully it won't do that. We'll just go to this mic. That was an experiment, a little bit failed. Lisa says rude, but now we've got the good mic. And yeah, my CPU usage just dropped in half. So I guess it was using like a shit ton of horsepower to make this the Takstar SCG600. So that's what I was using. This was like $22 on AliExpress. This was like several $100s. So it's amazing that I was able to get that kind of sound out of this mic. I ordered it from AliExpress. This totally didn't happen. The mic I bought from AliExpress totally worked fine. It wasn't broken. And I totally didn't buy it again from Amazon for $90 and then return the AliExpress one to Amazon because it was easier, and then I didn't do that. That is disgusting behavior. I can't even believe you would accuse me of doing that. That's not what happened. The one I ordered from AliExpress worked. It wasn't broken. I didn't have to swap it with an Amazon one because it's easier to swap it with Amazon than AliExpress. That's not what I'm implying I did. It's not what I'm suggesting at all happened. It just worked right away the first time. Yeah, and you can totally not see another box with one of these in there behind me. Thank you for blocking it. My head and chair. Johnny, you are sporting the mud mask peel. Skin looks great. I think that is just the lighting. Something funky is happening. It might be a setting in my camera. When I do these, I do this on auto. It might be like some bullshit beauty filter or something. I'm gonna have to figure that out. I haven't played around with this camera in a while, so it's probably just some filter or something going on. We'll fix that. Be careful when you point the shotgun microphone. Johnny, new lighting too? Not really. Oh, I didn't turn my lights on. This is all the magic of that probably didn't make much of a difference, but it will make a difference when we get the green screen up. Everett says your hair is looking fine. You know what's funny about that, Everett? I was in the shower. I went for a bike ride today. I went for an e-bike ride. No, unfortunately, I didn't get on the DVP and Gardner. I did get to do something ridiculously fucking cool though, and borderline badass. JMB says, but your hair looks so healthy and luscious. Here's what happened. I was taking a shower after my bike ride today, like maybe an hour and 10 minutes ago before the stream. I picked up my bottle of 2-in-1 shampoo because if you're not using 2-in-1 shampoo, you're living incorrectly. And it was empty. And then I realized I don't have more shampoo. Normally, I've got multiple backups of everything. Then I looked at my body wash and I noticed something. It said 5-in-1 on it. It says body wash, shampoo, conditioner, face plus deodorizer. So guess what I did? I used this on my hair, and you guys were complimenting my hair before I even mentioned that I used the 5-in-1. So like, fuck buying shampoo. This is $2.50 a bottle, and it's all I need. Truthfully, I don't trust it on my face. I use like a Biore face wash, but everything else, I think we can just use this. These are $2.50. I'm just gonna live off this. You don't condition your roots, you shampoo them. Whatever. This works. I got a whole bunch of compliments. Buying expensive hair products, total waste of fucking money, drain on the environment, toxins, poison, all that shit. Just buy a Umbro Ice 5-in-1 from your local Dollarama. Sometimes they don't have it in stock, but when they do have it in stock, just do what I do and buy like all of them. Just buy the entire thing and fill up under my kitchen sink or my bathroom sink. I've got like 8 of these bad boys. Mary W says, no, Johnny. Somewhere Bevy's ears perked up. Oh my God, Johnny, no, men stop doing this, says Flower Child. Shampoo is bullshit. Your hair is supposed to be like naturally oiled. All you're doing is stripping away the oil, drying up your scalp, and then replacing it with something made from chemicals. Like, why are we even doing that? Like, it doesn't make sense. So if we're gonna, I don't know. I just argued against using this. I don't know what I'm talking about. Greg says, Umbro, is that the soccer ball company? I don't know. It smells really good. It works really good. And apparently it's good for your hair. Jollykin says that stuff would never be allowed in the UK. We have high standards. You don't know what this is. You don't know what's in this. I bet you could buy this in the UK. But yeah, I'm convinced 5-in-1 is the... Remember I bought that like 7-in-1 once? Alicia Lewis, $10. Happy
Sunday, Johnny and everyone else. Smiley face emoji.
Alicia Lewis, thank you for the $10. Cheers to you. Hope you're doing well, Alicia. Me and Ken had that conversation. Mike T says, I buy the cheapest body wash because I'm a guy and we don't care about this stuff. Exactly. I buy the cheapest, like, name-ish brand body wash. I won't buy the, like, thing I've never heard of before, but if there's, like, an Old Spice or a Dove or something like that, whatever one is cheapest is the one I'm buying. Period. There's, like, absolutely no more thought needs to go into it than that. And then I discovered this stuff, and it smells really good, and it's $2.50. Johnny, 5-in-1, you're going to go bald. The hair is in your jeans. You can't go bald from shampoo. That's ridiculous. It doesn't affect anything in terms of your growth. I have an AI assistant. I can ask that. Christo says air frying some wings. Anyways, yeah, so I'll show you a little clip of this later once I set the green screen up, but yesterday I had plans to go to Parkdale. Where am I? Where was my walk yesterday? Toronto events. I think I lost my notes on it. But I made notes to go to... There was a street in Parkdale that they closed the whole street from... Basically from King going south. Oh, but YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. As such, viewers will experience buffering. Everything looks clear to you guys? I don't know why it's giving me that error. I think everything looks pretty clear to me. Error. Oh, that was at 8:17. Yeah, it just literally gave me that error now. That's weird. Looks good to me. So yesterday I wanted to do that, but I kind of slept in because I kind of had a little bit to drink on Friday night and I missed it. But I decided to go record the bay yesterday. I was originally going to record the bay on its last day today, but I recorded that yesterday. So then today I didn't have a video idea, so I decided to go check out the Don Valley Recreational Trail. It's been a while since I've been there. I didn't really feel like walking, so I just hopped on the bike, rode over to Thorncliffe Park. And the trail is supposed to be closed south of Pottery Road. And guess what? It wasn't. I just kept going. And I found myself here. Let's just, rather than green screen it, I'll just show you. Where's my thing? I'll show you a little clip of what happened. Okay, so I'll put this on. All right, so here's here, I'll put the desktop audio on. So here's what happened. I was riding down the Don Trail. Pretty sure I'm in like an area that's not supposed to be open to the public. But there was no signs. Nothing was closed. Look, this gate is open. Right, it looks like we're heading straight into a construction zone. Oh, this isn't right. And then look where I ended up. So, what the hell? Like, there was nothing to indicate this wouldn't be here. And I looked behind me and there was like one of those spandex dudes, like the hardcore cyclist guys, was coming this way too. And I was like, is this supposed to be open? He was like, I don't know. So I pushed forward through it and I got to check out this whole closed down section that's been closed down for a few years. So that's going to be coming up in a future video. So I think that's kind of cool. And then at the end, we had to like sneak out of it. I think this gate here, someone had like opened it up. I don't think that was supposed to be open, but I think we're good. Yeah, being a little badass this weekend. Went into a few places in the bay that I wasn't supposed to go to. Got to go through the Don Trail. So that will be in a future video, probably Tuesday or Wednesday. Stephanie says, explore Johnny. Jenny Kritzkamp says, cool. I thought so. So, yeah, normally, like, I wouldn't willfully trespass, and I willfully wouldn't go into a construction zone. But if you're just going to, like, leave the door wide open and you're not going to tell me that's wrong, I'm going to play dumb and just keep going. Can't really call negligence on my part there. So that's going to be in a future video. So that was cool. Justin says, are you going to do a video challenge where you travel to all the Toronto subway stops in one day, Johnny? No. Maybe. Never say never. That would be a interesting idea for a video. I think I could easily do that. All the subway stops in one day. You could do all the subway stops in like an afternoon. I guess the shitty part would be riding back, right? I would start at like Kipling, go all the way to Kennedy, and then ride back to line 1. Then maybe go north up to Finch, come down, do the Shepherd line, come back, then go down and do the whole loop that way, all the way up to Vaughan Mills. I guess that would be the best way to do it. I don't know. It's really stupid how our subway is so incomplete. It'll be a lot harder to do that if the Line 5 ever opens up. Gertes was wearing his Hasta La Vista Baby t-shirt. Awesome, Gertes. Do you guys like... Hey, now what's his stream status excellent? Why are you telling me poor earlier? Why are you telling me poor? Howard Charco says no harm, no foul. Foul. There we go. But anyways, yeah, thank you guys for... Lisa says that would be a few videos. No, I wouldn't. Honestly, if I did that, I would just chop it up like vlog style. Like, hey, I'm at this station. And then I would show myself on the platform at the next station. A bigger challenge Actually, no, you couldn't do that in an afternoon. You'd have to get off each train and get on the next one. What am I talking about? You're not just riding this whole subway. You're actually getting off at every stop. Yeah, that would be an awful big pain in the ass. But I think what you should have to do in that challenge is physically go out to street level and then run back in and tap back in. Harjot went to Woodbine Mall with your mum today. Awesome, Harjot. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Did you go to the Fantasy Fair? That place was pretty dead when I went there. And Michael Mills says hello. Hello, Michael Mills. I don't know, Justin. That's maybe a good idea for a video. Maybe I'll do that. Just to Lisa says I'm right. Jellybean says you can do it. Cam says what's for dinner? What's for dinner? I spent my money on an American product again. I had Chipotle. But last night I went to Beer Bistro at King and Young. Apparently they have good mussels. I don't know. I just had a pulled pork sandwich, but that's like a place we used to go to sometimes after work. It's definitely got like a hotel restaurant vibe to it, but it's decent. Then the night before I went to Gayubi and had some all-you-can-eat Japanese barbecue, which was pretty awesome. Math Doctor had Chipotle at Yorkdale Mall earlier. Digital Blade says, what kind of mileage do you get on your e-bike, throttle versus pedaling? I don't know. All I know is I rode a shitload on my e-bike today. I pedaled with the pedal assist on, and I had 4 bars out of 5 on my battery when I got back. Lisa says, what did I get? You love that place. Which one? Gayubi or Beer Bistro? The Beer Bistro, I normally get like the sausage platter and get the Belgian frites to go with it. Sometimes I get the steak frites, but I had the pulled pork sandwich last night. It was actually pretty good. I think it's underrated because it's like kind of affordable for getting like good quality restaurant food. So it's kind of it's a good place because you're not going to spend $1 million on a meal. Jennifer Gallus says, if anyone wants to get the S25 Edge, I got it and the battery lasts me a full day. It's super thin and light and something different than the rest of the phones in the market. Futuristic. Neat, Jennifer. And now Samsung's more committed to like software and security updates, right? So it's not going to be a useless brick in 2 or 3 years. Mr. Sunjib says, Johnny, a question. I recently purchased a DJI SE gimbal and both the gimbal and the power bank are becoming hot. That I don't know. The battery and the power bank are. I've never had a gimbal that heated up before. I would maybe. How are you using it? I don't know. I would say if it's like really, really getting uncomfortably hot, maybe exchange it for another one. I have that same gimbal and mine doesn't get too hot. Not that I've noticed. Just reading some of your messages. The Magic Entertainer says, where did I get that blue shirt? I got this blue shirt at a Blue Jay game. It was one of the ones they gave out for getting there early. I'm just going to open up my door. It's friggin' hot in my apartment. One sec. There we go. But the lighting outside is fantastic. Whitby Dude says, do you still go to Barbarians? I go to Barbarians on like my birthday because I normally don't have to pay. I would love to go. I'd be there every weekend, but I can't afford a $150 meal every weekend. By the time you have your steak, which is like $80-90, throw on a couple of drinks, tax and tip, like that's way too much for my blood. But on my birthday, yeah, that's usually where I want to go. That's pretty much the only time I go there, or if there's like someone else's birthday and it gets suggested or a special occasion. But yeah, I honestly go to Barbarians, I would say on average 1.5 times a year. I'd love to go more, but that's all I can do. Living in reality. Christopher Walken says, are those Ken Continuum glasses on your counter? No. Douglas says, is that blue bottle behind you boobs? Yeah, I had to clear off my printer shelf the other day to print my passport renewal, and this came off. This is Bombay Sapphire Dry Gin. I occasionally have this with some diet tonic water, which I am all out of. Christo says Barbarians is overrated. I don't know. I like it better than Morton's. I like it better than Harbor 60. The atmosphere is way better than all those places. It's like a stuffy old steakhouse vibe. It's exactly what you want. It's exactly what you want. Mike says, hi, Johnny. Hi, chat. Hello, Mike. Cam says, Johnny, did you change your hair? It looks more red. No, but it wasn't fully dry when I like put shit in it. That's probably why. Jellybean says, I have a printer. Yes, I have an HP piece of shit. HPs are pieces of shit, by the way. I've been paying $3 a month for this fucking ink thing, this subscription ink thing, and I printed a passport application out, and then I tried to print it again, and it's like, you're out of pages to print for this month. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? That's my own printer. And then the pages were printing all streaked, and they weren't even like clear. And I cleaned the printer heads. I took the printer, like the actual ink cartridges out, and I followed a YouTube video on how to like clean them. I put them back in, and it still wouldn't print. And I tried to contact HP and be like, hey, you need to send me some more ink. They're like, you have half an ink cartridge. We can't send you. I'm like, well, and I checked, and I've been paying them $3 a month over the past 3 years. So this printer is going off the balcony. Maybe not actually, but I'm going to smash the fuck out of it. I'm going to buy a Brother laser printer and just once every 5 years buy like a toner. Like, no more inkjet. No more Canon. No more HP. Those brands are scumbag trash. Another thing, was it Canon or HP? If you had a scanner in your printer and if the ink was out, the scanner wouldn't work unless you bought more ink. And you'd have to buy like the genuine ink or it wouldn't like enable. It's like the slimiest fucking scam. Like, I hate it. Like, everything you buy these days, you don't own your product, right? It's like you're renting it from the company, and they can just like update the firmware and kill your device and make it shitty. I had an old Samsung TV. I think it was like a 60, I forget the model, but it was an LED backlit TV. And they issued a firmware update that destroyed the black level, and they never fixed it. And the online forums were just full of people complaining. It's like, I bought this fucking TV. Everything worked fine. One day a pop-up comes up, update the firmware. Sure, boom. Now it looks like shit. Thank you, Samsung. And they never fixed it. Fortunately, they haven't ruined my OLED TV, but every company does that shit right now. Every company does that shit. Everything needs an app. Everything needs a subscription. There's no such thing as like buying a movie anymore, right? They call it buy or they call it purchase, but you don't actually own it. That service can lose the rights to that movie and take it away. So if you're ever on Amazon and you click buy now, guess what? You didn't buy the movie. You don't own it. That shit can disappear. So if they say that buying isn't owning, then piracy isn't stealing. Louis Rossman says that, right? If you can sell it to me and I don't actually own it, then I should be able to download it off the Pirate Bay, and that's not piracy. That's kind of his logic. Lisa says, I sound old now. David says, I have a Brother laser printer and it's still going after 20 years. Yeah, I'm done. I've bought so many shitty HP and Canon junk plastic printers that are like 99 bucks. They come with the ink. They give you like a quarter of an ink cartridge with the printer, and then like that runs out right away, and then you go to buy a new one and it's like 80 bucks for the new one. So you're like, okay, I'll just buy a knockoff one, but they've got fucking chips in them now that like lock out the knockoff ones. It's such a scam. It's such a scam. I'm just going to buy a Brother. That's it. It's just going to work. When it's time to buy a new toner cartridge, I'll probably just buy official ones just because they're a good company. I don't know. Mike says, I love the Pirate Bay. Just saying. I love Streamio. Just saying. Just saying. Although Streamio is kind of the same thing, right? It uses the other one. Mel says, I rarely print, so I just go to the library to print. I only need to print when I like return shit. It's like, you need to print a label. And I feel like my printer doesn't work. Now I'm emailing friends. Can you print this for me? I feel like an idiot. I just want to have a printer that works. That isn't from one of those scam companies. Matt Bross says, my first Canon was planned obsolescence. No more software updates. Second one, paper jams. That happens. Lisa says, what am I printing? Purelator labels. Canada Post labels, passport renewals. UPS return labels because I totally am not returning the broken microphone I got from AliExpress to Amazon in the US. That's not what I'm doing. Not doing that. Don't need to print a UPS return label to send it back to Amazon in the States because Amazon Canada didn't have it. That's not what I'm doing. That's not why I need a printer. Stop accusing me of that, please. Mike T says get a laser printer. That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing. You can't leave movies in your will unless discs, says Douglas Blackwell. I have no problem with owning digital things. Just don't take it away from me, right? If you're buying stuff on a subscription service, you're not buying it. You're not buying it. Noni says, loving the new cam, so high quality. Thank you. That's I talked about that a little bit in my members update, which I sent a few days ago. How like I've been full time on YouTube for 5 years and I don't even own a real fucking camera, let alone how to use one or how to expose one. Everything I do, I just put it in auto, right? And because you don't really notice the white balance shifting or the exposure shifting, but you also don't get the best picture out of it. Like in a fixed environment like this, you should be setting your exposure and your white balance and like shooting in log if possible. Log is like a very flat color profile, and then you can like color it later. This one though, for the live stream, we're just in auto, but it's already much better. Anyways, that's enough. That's enough jib jab. Should we get the green screen up tonight? Michael Mills teaches photography. Awesome, Michael Mills. So you would not like my camera. It has an electronic shutter. It doesn't have a mechanical shutter. Bill Chow says, I googled the most popular Toronto walk tubers. Congratulations. Number 1, Johnny Strides, 134K. Number 2, Toronto Walk and Drive, 45K. Number 3, the Ken Continuum, 28K. Awesome, Bill Chow. Congrats to everyone who made that list. Pat75, I guess I just congrats myself. Way to stay modest there, kid. Pat75 says, how much does a green screen cost, by the way? I got this one from Canada Computers on Black Friday, and it was like $120. It was like this was like a knockoff one. The Elgato was like the main one that was like $349. This was like a fake version of that, and it was a fraction of the price, and it still works. Lisa says, sorry, why does that mean he wouldn't like your camera? An electronic shutter won't capture things very clearly as fast. There's too much time delay. So if you like are trying to capture a bird mid-flight, its wings will just look like a flappy mess, right? Whereas if you have a mechanical shutter, you can like get that bang on exactly as it looks. At least that's my understanding. Also, because it's a rolling shutter, because it's electronic, when something moves by really fast or up and down, it can kind of wobble because it's just drawing line by line as fast as it can, but it's not fast enough to do the whole thing at once. So you can get a little bit of distortion in fast moving objects. But I don't take wildlife photography. I'm not making videos of like NASCARs with this camera. I'm literally sitting here staring at it. So it's an amazing studio camera. Lisa says, are you mansplaining to me? I was just explaining why an electronic shutter is not considered good for photography overall if you're doing that kind of thing. JMB says, I need a walking partner to take photos. I want to take nice shots of nature and city life. Maybe join some groups. There's probably some photography clubs and that sort of thing. David Ing says, with the new passport, will you travel around the world with Action Kid? No, I'll travel all the same as I do now. Probably a little bit less internationally, a little more Canada. Cameron says, I'll be staying in Toronto and got an Airbnb in North York near Shepherd and Yonge. Is that a fine place to see the city, or should I switch somewhere closer downtown? Cameron, that's a cool little area. There's lots of like restaurants and stuff in your area. But in terms of exploring the city, if you're okay taking the subway 30-40 minutes to go downtown or towards downtown, that's fine. But you are going to have to do that subway ride pretty much every day, which to me is fine. Like, you can only spend so much time outside exploring, right? So just chilling on a subway, and try to time your subway rides not to coincide with rush hour. But yeah, it's a good area. I wouldn't tell someone not to stay there. The key thing is you're on the subway. And Shepherd Young, for like downtime or whatever, tons of restaurants, tons of stuff you can walk to. It's a pretty cool neighborhood, but it's not like one of the great urban neighborhoods of Toronto, right? It's not like staying in the Annex or Koreatown or St. Lawrence or one of those places, but it's a good spot. Christo says rush hour transit is a death sentence. Michael Mills always stayed at the Delta Chelsea Inn. Yeah, that's like a prime location. It's hard to argue with that, and it's like one of the better values for that level of hotel in the city. Matt Bross says, Cam, stay near the airport and use the Up Express. Goes from the airport to down. If you want to do that, I mean, you could probably get a place much cheaper, right? The problem is your immediate neighborhood's going to be garbage, right? The airport hotels, they ain't anywhere. You might have a Denny's if you're lucky. But if you're close to the Up Express, I mean, why not? Yeah, it's a nice train. It's quick downtown. So I don't know. Randy Ruck says Shepherd is a nice place to start. Yeah, like you're on the subway line. That's fine. That's fine. Pat75 says you're on a break now. Hello, everyone. Whippy Dude says hopefully not on a weekend when shuttle buses replace line 1. Very good point, Whippy Dude. And there's like a 20% chance that's going to happen. Maybe look that up on that weekend before you come. Just Google TTC closures for this weekend, because you don't want to do the shuttle bus dance on the weekend into Toronto. That's like I swear there's less people downtown on those shuttle bus weekends. People are just like avoiding it. Toronto Walker says, I sent a small donation to your twin lookalike Johnny Strides earlier today. You did, Toronto Walker. Johnny Strides was actually the same fucking guy as this guy. Says, thank you very much for that during the premiere. Jack CW says there's now FanDuel betting odds on when the Eglinton LRT would open. You think somebody would have insider info on that? But it looks like, I was snooping around Eglinton Station the other day. It looks like the connections to all the different street corners, like the connection to the Young Eglinton Center, the connection to the southeast corner and the northeast corner, are all ready to like open up. You can like peer in them. All the signing is done. The hall or the aisles or hallways look finished. Everything looks good. They just literally need to open that shit up. So I would bet a good over-under for me, I think, would be September. I think that would be like the 50-50 mark in terms of when it'll open personally. But they're really, really getting close based on what I see at Eglinton, which is good. Noni says, did you ever play golf consistently, JS? I remember you going to Top Golf in one video. When I first graduated university and got my first real job, I had a friend that really liked golf, so we would literally go every weekend. So if playing golf every weekend throughout a summer at like $50 courses is considered being regular, fine. But some days I would shoot 120, 130 if I'm being honest. Every once in a while I'd drop like a 95, but I was wildly inconsistent and not very good. But you know, I had my moments. But no, I was never a regular golfer. You could see by that swing in that video at Top Golf too. It was pretty nasty. And by the way, yes, I striped it and hit it right down the middle. That was probably like a 280-yard drive, but do you not think I was a little selective with that video and didn't post like 6 or 7 shots that were absolutely awful? Michael Mills went disc golfing every weekend when you lived in San Diego. Christo says, where's the best golf course in Toronto? Public course? There's some good public courses. I would say public course Lakeview in Mississauga. Don Valley Golf Course is actually really good, and that's owned by the city of Toronto. Callis says, what camera is this? It's the Sony ZV E10 Mark II. Randy Ruck says A95. I don't know what we're talking about. Anyways, let's get the green screen up. Look at that. Living in a world of green. Let's fix the camera. Get over there, you little punk. Get down there. There we go. Now I'm going to be looking over there. I think I could... Oh, I still have the same crappy wallpaper from last week. Oh, well. Kaboom. Now we're going to... Nope, get up. There we go. Now we got to do that. Yay, green screen up. Christo says magic show time. Chrismo says it's easy being green. Lisa says shrunken head. Can I crush my own head? I don't know. How many people do we have watching tonight? I don't know. Let's see. 268 viewers. Thank you so much, guys. Should put up a bay snap. Yes, I should. Yes, I should. Let's make that happen. Lisa has some excellent snaps of the bay on her IG channel, and she has graciously said that I can borrow a picture for a thumbnail. So thank you so much for those pics you took, Lisa. Where are they? Hudson's Bay by thumbnail. I went through some thumbnail decisions to make for that bay video. I started with this one. That's Lisa's photo, by the way. End of an era. Then I started putting the bay in there. I was like, the bay, end of an era. End of the Bayra. Do you guys like that? End of the Bayra instead of Bera or era? I was really stuck on this end of an era thing. So I did end of the Bayra. But that didn't look right to me. So then I used my friend, my little AI friend, to tell me what font. I literally uploaded the Bay logo and I asked it what font that was. And it told me the font and then it sent it to me to download. Like, how easy is life getting? So then I just used that font and I thought that looked better, but I played around with it a bit and then just end of the Bay. End of the Bay. So those are the two I went with. Lisa says Bayra is awful and I like it, but no. Some of you might see Bayra. I'm doing a A/B testing, or I guess ABC testing. So some of you might actually have that as your thumbnail. Let's set this. There we go. Now we got some Bay action. That one I stole from Lisa.
Happy first day of June, Mr. Johnny Stumbles. Cheers.
Riguito 234. Thank you so much, Riguito. Cheers to you. Happy first day of June, Mr. Johnny Stumbles. Cheers to you. Pat75 says, my little AI friend. Is that how I'm going to refer to my future life partner? Possibly. Possibly. Yeah, so that's a Lisa shot. That's a Lisa shot. Yeah, they had all these mannequins for $50. And I was like, do I want to buy a mannequin? And I could do videos where there's like literally the mannequin on the couch with me. And every time I do any video, like when I opened up the MacBook or when I showed off my equipment, I could just dress the mannequin up in something ridiculous, like ripped fishnet stockings, and like just go to Dollarama and buy cheap shit and have some fun with it. And then I was like, nah, like that's a good idea, but it's also a really stupid idea. And now I'm regretting not buying the $50 mannequin. I wish I bought it. Jennifer Gallus says, did you know that ChatGPT can make LUTs? You can upload a picture and you can ask it to make a LUT. And it gives you the file. Crazy. Yes. I have ChatGPT Plus, and I was watching some YouTube videos on what you can do with it. You can do the Johnny Stumbles thumbnail. It knows who I am. Like it's like if I say, who am I? It'll say, you're Johnny Strides. And then it'll say, also, your alter ego is Johnny Stumbles. And then if I say, make a thumbnail of me for my live stream tonight, it'll literally put me in the thumbnail because it knows who I am. And I've sent it my picture before. That's how I got tonight's thumbnail. And then I said, write that this was made by this was made by AI, LOL, in the thumbnail. And then it made it. But for some reason, I look kind of old and creepy in the thumb, or older and creepy in the thumbnail. But I thought it was funny, so that's why I went with it. But yeah, that was a ChatGPT Plus that did that. It's kind of crazy. It knows a whole lot about me. I also asked ChatGPT to make a title for tonight's live stream that is in line with my previous titles that complements the thumbnail. And it gave me that exact title that I'm using on this live stream. Sunday Night Live, Unfiltered and Unsteady with 21% more AI. That was 100% AI that gave me that title. So I don't know. It's freaky. It's freaky. That was another picture. All mannequins. This store fixture for sale, $50. No offense to the dudes out there, but if I was buying a mannequin, I would have got a lady. I thought that would have been funnier. I don't know. Wouldn't have been as fun dressing up a dude on the couch next to me. Douglas Blackwell says, will you get VO3? VO3, isn't that like stupidly expensive? The New York Times made like a short movie using VO3 and another one. Have you ever used Sora? Sora Access comes built into ChatGPT, but it makes like these useless short little clips that are kind of interesting, but no. All right. So we're just going to go back to this. Actually, I don't like this one as much. Maybe we'll do set as background. How's that? We'll just have that mannequin. Or how's that? That one's cool, right? That one's cool. Howard says, we will save a lot of money spending money we ain't got. You have to get one of each. Imagine what you could do. I lost my chance to get a Bay mannequin. Kay says, how's your new laptop, Johnny? My MacBook Air, I use it exclusively for my morning premieres because the battery life is so friggin' good. I just leave it under the pillow beside me. And then when Alexa wakes me up at like 8:59, I pull out my MacBook Air, I open it up, and I jump in the premiere and I chat with people and watch my videos. I tend to watch my own videos with the volume off though. Like, you know, I don't need to hear what I'm droning on about. Pat75 says I should get a Bay mannequin and call her Bay. Yeah, I don't know. I should have got one of these mannequins. Oh, here's a picture I took. I'll move my stupid head out of the way. There you go. Yeah, I was trying to work that into a thumbnail as well, but I decided against it. Whippy Dude says, I guess the walkway over Queen Street is shut down now. Yeah, that's a brand new, pretty new walkway, but the building the Bay was in is owned by Cadillac Fairview, who also own the Eaton Center. So if I were to speculate what they're going to do with that building, it's too old. A lot of people are saying in my comments they're going to build condos on top. No, they're not going to build condos on top. You would have to, the foundation, you would have to like completely hollow out that building and just preserve the facade only and build a whole new building out of it. The buildings that you see getting extended, like the one on the northwest corner of University and Dundas, that building, when it was built, the foundation was built for it to go much higher than it was. That's how they were able to just like add on a whole bunch of floors onto an existing building. This building is from the 1800s. They're not putting condos on top of that. It's a heritage building. What I think will happen is we'll see the ground level or the below ground level floor, and floors 1 and 2 is the one with the bridge, will be converted to retail. And I think the rest of them will be like either office use or event spaces. I think Cadillac Fairview will divide it up like that. That's what I'm predicting will happen. And I think it'll literally just be part of the Eaton Center because it's physically connected to the Eaton Center by the bridge. So I think it'll just be more retail on that side, and they'll fix it up, and they'll probably maintain the path connection as good as they can because other Cadillac Fairview tenants would cry murder if they cut up and blocked that path connection. Jellybean says they'll keep the facade. They won't just keep the facade. They'll keep the whole building. Like, it would be monumentally expensive to redevelop that plot of land. And I don't think the city would even think about approving a condo for that spot. So I bet that's what happens. But they'll probably modernize it, the top few floors. The Bay already had offices in the top floor. It's very possible. But that's like really the best case scenario. Hopefully they can get a big anchor tenant in there. I don't really know who would do that though. Simon's is already going into the Eaton Center. Nordstrom came and left, right? Like, is there even a big like Canadian Tire, who now owns the Bay? They already have a store at the Eaton Center. So Winners, Marshalls, they already have giant store. Like, it would have been a good spot for an urban IKEA, but IKEA already took over the former Bed Bath and Beyond, right? A full-size IKEA wouldn't make sense because they need loading docks and like all that kind of stuff. So I don't know. I think it'll just be chopped up and turned into retail. It's Cadillac Fairview. Pat75 says they should make it a big Walmart. JMB says, what about Walmart? A lot of people saying, what about Walmart? Toronto has a thing of limiting the square footage on Walmarts downtown or near downtown. Remember, they wanted to build a big Walmart by Kensington Market, and the city actually said you cannot have a store of XYZ amount of square feet in that location. I think they would do the same. Cam says make it the new science center. I don't think it would work as a science center because you have fixed ceiling heights, right? The science center needs more flexibility for a lot of the exhibits. Also, it would be even worse than Ontario Place in terms of accessibility. Downtown Toronto needs a Walmart. Closest is Dufferin Mall. I don't see that working as a Walmart. I don't see the city approving it, but if it takes a Walmart to like save the area, why not? I don't know. I have mixed feelings about that. But yeah, Walmart is probably the one retailer who could take up like a sizable amount of spot. Jenny K says, ask the ladies behind you what they think, Johnny. They think I should end the stream a little early because they want to spend some time with me. That's not creepy at all. Pretend I didn't say that. Michael Mill says, I used to work at a science center in Calgary. You are correct. Yeah, well, it just wouldn't work with like a 12-foot ceiling or whatever those are, right? Some things need to be, you need way more flexibility. Lisa says, we don't need a damn Walmart. Maybe a Costco, but do Costco's work when you don't have a lot of parking? I don't know. And wouldn't it just be nonstop delivery trucks on Richmond? Randy Ruck says, I see it being offices. I think, yeah, I'm going to stick to my original prediction. The bottom 3 floors, retail, everything above that will be office and or like event space type use. That's it. That's my prediction. Maybe a supermarket, but a TNT just went in north. Maybe a supermarket would work. One of the big guys, Metro, Vasobies, Loblaws, that might work. I don't know. Mike says turn it into a nightclub. No Clue says maybe the billionaire that bought 28 leases will buy one. That lady, she doesn't have a plan. Lou Bay, she's just gonna, I don't know what she's gonna do with those 28 leases. She's a billionaire who owns shopping malls in BC. I don't think her idea would work. I don't know. What about the old Bay in the northeast corner of Yonge and Bloor? We're going to find out very soon, I think, what's happening with that spot. But they are actively redeveloping it. Math Doctor says there are likely empty commercial real estate downtown to have a Costco downtown. I don't know if I get it, but I don't really think like a big Walmart the city would allow. But maybe if it was between that and not having a store, there's some... there's big Targets in Manhattan, right? You'll be in Manhattan and there'll be like really large scale Target stores. So maybe turn it into a brothel. Just pretend I didn't read that one out loud. IKEA was only allowed if they built a separate lane on the road and they were not allowed to open before 10 a.m. Yeah, like, I don't know. Canadian Tire for sure, says Stephanie Jackson. They have a massive Canadian Tire. just north of there at Bay and Dundas. I don't think that would work. Jellybean says maybe they could relocate Zanzibar. And what? Oasis Aqua Lounge too? New location? Yeah, sure. Let's just be all nuts. Mike says turn it into a hotel. But it's so big and so deep that only like rooms would only work on the perimeter of that building, right? What would you do with all that extra space in the middle? Like just have these massive, like every room is a penthouse? Like I don't think that would work because it would only work. And then it would only work above like the 3rd or 4th floor. And it's not even that tall a building because no one's going to want to be on the 2nd floor of that Bay building looking out. Pat75 says make it a casino. Lisa says it'll be part BMO, Pet Value, part other. Turn it into another food court and bring back Arby's. There we go, Cam. Cam with the real idea. Lorraine says yes, casino. I don't hate casinos. A fool and their money are easily parted, but no. I would say no. A bowling alley. There we go. A bowling alley. There's an idea. No Clue says a casino, not bad. The good thing about a casino is what they did in Korea when I lived in Seoul. They had casinos that were foreigner only, which was kind of brilliant because they would be giant profit centers for the region, but none of their own people were dealing with gambling addictions and like the debt that goes with it. But they got a lot of local jobs out of it. And like, it was like all upside, no downside. But I don't know if we would draw like the tourists to do that. That's an idea that, but then people would be like, what the hell? This is our own country and you're not letting Canadians gamble here. I don't think that would fly here. But like part of me likes that idea because it's like just doing good for our economy. Pat75 says, I'm actually seriously kidding. Kurt says, make it a club that plays only royalty-free music so walktubers can hang out. There we go. There we go. Christo says, there goes Junior's college fund. That's my concern with the casino. Michael Mills used to do laser shows at the McLaughlin Planetarium. There we go. Good idea. But we've been jib-jabbing a lot. Let's pull up a web browser. There we go. By the way, did you guys see the news? Big news dropped on YouTube. I finally got a new logo. It's a grayscale picture of me holding a DJI Osmo Pocket 3 with the CN Tower. The old one, the JS, was just feeling a little stale. I don't know. I just spent an hour diddling around one night and made this. And then I was like, what the hell? I'll put this on the channel. Lisa says a roller rink. That would work. It would not work financially. Those things don't make money, but especially not given what the lease would cost. But in the intern, a roller rink, a racket club, like paddleball and all that stuff would be pretty cool. Yeah. Pat75 says, do you ever wear a baseball hat? Yeah, I do. Whenever I don't do my hair, I wear a baseball hat. I would say about 50% of my live streams, I wear a baseball hat. The Laughing Man says, is that AI generated? Is it AI generated if you have to like tell it 100 times to revise it? Like, I felt like an asshole. Like, that's good, but can you make him like a little more muscly? Then it's like, oh no, that guy is jacked. Make it a little thinner. Okay, that's good, but why did you change his face? Put his face back. Okay, that's good, but now he's jacked again. I told you not to make it jacked. Only change the body. Keep the face. Okay, now why is it the Empire State Building and not the CN Tower? Like, it was literally an hour of doing that until I got that. Long story short, graphic artists, you're fucked. I used to just pay people to do this stuff on Fiverr. And now we're doing this. I don't know. Jenny Kurtz Camp says, doesn't sound stressful at all. And the thing is, you get no pushback. AI is like enthusiastic. I'll get right on that revision. Here you go. Phuket Walk says, that's me. Devin says, AI is incredibly stupid. Just wait. It's incredibly stupid, but it won't be. It won't be. Pretty soon you'll be able to like, hey, take down the planet, and it'll be like coordinating, and then like everything will disappear, and you'll be like, thanks. Thanks. But yeah, I did that. I'm going to redo the background here, the channel art. I'm thinking of going with the black and white theme again, but making it a bit lighter, like the logo, like a little bit more white than grayscale. And I'm also going to redo Johnny Stumbles. This background I put together like 5 years ago. And this logo, I think I don't like having my name typed out in the logo. It's just too small on a phone. No one can read it. So I think, yeah, I'm going to redo these as well. What about a huge Apple store, says Kay? Apple just renovated, or they moved locations in the Eaton Center. And I think when they do like an exterior flagship, they want to have control over like how it looks and stuff. I don't know. Lisa says I need some damn color. The Johnny Stumbles channel will be color. Johnny Strides will stay black and white. I think you should make it a color logo, add some pizzazz. Everyone does color logos. Everyone does color logos. I have a folder here. Where is it? Oh God. I made this one. I don't know. I felt a little weird. This guy's like hips to leg proportion is a little bit off. That guy looked a little bit too old. I told them to put a blue shirt on and make me younger, and he didn't make me look younger. Still wearing the blue shirt. That one was fine, but why is my camera blocking the CN Tower? I was like, don't block the fucking CN Tower, man. That one, I was like, why'd you put a logo on my shirt? Where did that logo come from? Why did you just do that? I think that's the one I used. But no, I think that guy looks a little too young. I think I made it. Yeah, I think we made this guy a little bit older. And then that one, I'm like, whoa, that looks like I'm 8. Thank you. That guy, that's the jacked guy. These are only the ones I saved, by the way. I made like 100 of these. I was like, I wish I looked like that. Maybe after like another year of working out and like adding 40 pounds. But I like, that's the jacked dude. And it kept putting this jacked body back on me after I was like, Marge says it's got boobs. Those are called pecs. And then it like I got this kid again, and then like this guy, something just looked off. And then like the fucking logo, and like what is this building here? Like what is that? I told it to like erase the logo, get rid of the teeth and the smile, and take out this building, which doesn't look like it's from Toronto. I don't know. I should have just gone with that. I don't know. Do I have any other folders here? No, I don't. Those are my adventures. Oh, I got to close all of those one by one. That's annoying. Let's just close them all. What AI is that? It's Chat GPT Plus. You get access to like the newer models with Plus. I'm testing it out. There was one. No, I won't go into it, but there's a few other ones I've tried. Kurt Affair says, at least it didn't put #daddy on your shirt. Mike T says, I like this new one. Yeah, so we're going to have it make, you know what? I'll show you what it'll do. New chat. I'll show you what it'll do. Make me a new logo for the Johnny Stumbles YouTube channel, similar to the current one, but way better, and don't write Johnny Stumbles on it. I do not want to see any writing at all, and it better be very good. Okay, let's see what AI comes up with here. I'll show you what AI comes up with. Jenny K says this one, it's already making it. When you're a Plus member, you get like priority. Create a graffiti tag for Stumbles. Anyways, let's take a look at what's going on in Toronto here. Blog TO. The secret party at Toronto's hottest street festival this week you need to know about. I'll be going to that, not that secret party, but I'll be going to that street festival Friday or Saturday. That's Due West Fest. Hey, it's drawing the logo. That guy has black hair. He doesn't look like me. But this is the first attempt. You start with the first attempt, and then you start going on and on. Just as proof, there you go. That's what it made. And you can see what I typed there. Make a new logo. Anyways, that's not going to be the Johnny Stumbles new logo. But that's part of the rabbit hole you can go down. Yeah, do Westfest. I guess there's some kind of like secret party. Chris says, if it's on Blog TO, is it a secret? Absolutely not. 2 Canadian airlines have officially merged, and here are the details. The amazing Kreskin says that is WestJet and Sunwing. Everyone has known about this for a very long time. Just put WestJet and Sunwing have merged. What's up with this clickbaity bullshit? Like, most people are going to click this because they don't know, and they just want to find out what 2 airlines have merged. And you put a fucking Air Canada and WestJet plane, like, just put a Sunwing and what? Oh, the clickbait is nuts. They just want to like pull you in and then make it as hard as possible to find out like what they put in the title. New laws and rules coming to Ontario next month. Yeah, Doug Ford will make 1 million animals extinct. Thanks. Ontario City will be overrun with private jets and luxury cars this summer. Gravenhurst? If you take a road trip to visit Niagara Falls this August, the falls might be not be the only spectacular sight you see. Define spectacular. You may find it teeming with private jets, luxury cars, and scores of people who love them. Back for its most ambitious year, the annual Niagara 5000 is taking over The annual Niagara 5000. You are writing an article about something in August that's an annual event as if it's like some grandiose thing that like is, I don't know. I think that's not a necessary article at this point. How 2 university students created a trendy Ontario cafe inside a retro trailer. Cool, but they never put, or when they say Ontario and not Toronto, they're fishing for articles at that point. It's called Blog TO, not Blog ONT. Did you hear about the solar flare storm happening right now? No, but there's a pretty awesome like sunset glow going on right now. Midtown looks all like purple. It looks pretty cool. $800,000 Toronto house looks like it's been trapped in the past. Where is that? I swear I've seen that. Where is that? Tell me where it is. That does look like, that looks borderline creepy. 18 Scarlet Road. There we go. I knew I've seen that. Yeah, that looks borderline creepy. 800,000. You're probably going to have to like replace a lot of stuff in that. The history of Licks. Is Licks the one that like sings and spits in your food? Toronto Jellybean says Midtown is mid. Where do you live that's so good? I honestly don't, other than like the St. Lawrence neighborhood or the Annex, I don't think I would trade this. Like, my neighborhood's fucking awesome. I have so many restaurants right outside my front door that are like not stupidly expensive. Duke of Kent, incredible pub food. Granite Brewery, the best wings in Toronto. There's a few really good hidden patios around here, which I don't want to tell anyone about because I don't want them to fill up. Have the subway, the crosstown's coming. It's pretty awesome. Mike says Licks sucks. I don't understand why Licks was so popular 20 years ago. Yeah, Licks does suck. Kurt says you have to pay extra for them not to spit in your food. Don't worry, I totally wasn't picking my nose just now. It's not at all what I was doing. $13 million Ontario mansion looms where a tiny bungalow once stood. Can't you say that about like a lot of mansions? That's in Thornhill. Why is a mansion in Thornhill on Blog TO? Will Lee says Dangerous Dan's was killer. Like physically or literally, which those words are interchangeable. It was killer, right? Like didn't they have like the artery clogger? I don't know. That place was pretty awesome, but if you go there regularly, your life expectancy is definitely below the average person's. That's the only thing I know for sure. Former Toronto Raptor Pascal Siakam. Hey, he's in the finals. Good luck to him. Popular Toronto sandwich shop shutting down after 10 years. Oh, Porchetta. Yeah, they're only shutting down one of their locations. What a clickbait article. They're only shutting down one of their locations. I think the one on King Street. The one in the financial district still lives on. And I think I saw, not on BlogTO, they're opening a new one to like replace the one that's closing. I guess you get a whole article. Here's how much 10 key grocery items cost at Loblaws versus other grocers. Okay. Too much? Oh, the Queen's Plate is coming. Toronto's most stylish day at the races. It's got to be the Queen's Plate. The 5th annual Greenwood Stakes, not the Queen's Plate. If it's Greenwood Stakes, that must be a harness race, not a thoroughbred. Ontario ends tolls on part of Highway 407 and cuts gas tax starting this weekend. Yay. It's ridiculous. What we need is congestion pricing. That is the only thing that is actually proven to reduce gridlock. Like, we have massive gridlock problems. We have massive congestion problems. And the only thing that has ever worked anywhere around the world, aside from building rail and transit and bike lanes and pedestrianizing, aside from doing those obvious things, the only other thing that has ever worked, ever, is not expanding roads, is not removing tolls, is congestion pricing. And what is our, I won't use the language I want to use, insert blank here, Premier doing? The opposite of that. Yeah, fuck that guy. You know, buy back the whole 407, make it toll free, fine. They never should have sold it in the first place. It's all just a massive grift. But like the fact that they're fighting congestion by ripping out bike lanes on Bloor Street and Yonge Street and not, you know, congestion pricing going into the city if you're an out-of-towner from Monday to Friday from this time to this time, boom, you just pay more if you want to drive in, is beyond stupid. Like, they're idiots. Case says we need more freeways like in American cities like LA and NYC. No, we don't. No, we don't. Have you seen American cities? They are car sewers. They are disasters. That will not help Toronto's cause at all. What we need, Chris says, told the DVP, what we need is that. But the good news is that's kind of coming, right? Ford's grift is kind of working in our favor with the GO train system, right? We're kind of overpaying to build out and expand the GO train system, and we're going to have like 15-minute service and stuff. Turner says LA traffic is somehow even worse than Toronto's. LOL. Yeah, that's because the more capacity you build, the more demand goes up. If you build 5 more lanes, you end up with enough traffic to fill 6 more lanes. It's the stupidest fucking logic in the world. That's why you'll always hear urbanists say, just 1 more lane, man. Because no, actually removing a lane is far more effective than adding a lane, right? Adding congestion pricing is far more effective than removing tolls. Douglas says, does the congestion affect me personally? It affects me because they want to rip out bike lanes and make the city less livable, even though that's not at all a provincial mandate. Anyways, we'll screw that topic. Fuck you, Doug Ford. Rotten hell, you piece of shit. Anyways, and your supporters. No offense if you're a viewer, but fuck you. Give your next concert night the premium experience. Okay, let's move on from this. I don't want to get too angry. Jeanette, she's like, that's it. He's gone full rant. I'm out. All right, Jeanette, thank you so much. Cheers to you. Have a good day, Jeanette. Thanks for tuning in. I've had a bit of a bender this weekend. And it's all coming out on this stream. Before Hudson's Bay shuts its doors, I went to all 8 of its Toronto stores in one day. That's really cool. Dashcam drive-in. There's Yorkdale. That looks like Cloverdale. Some of them, that looks like Scarborough Town Center. Those are the interior shots. I can't recognize all of them. The Eaton Center. That's cool. That's cool. That's cool. Very cool that you did that. Now, because of Justin Ha, I'm going to have to do the I visited every Toronto subway station in one day challenge. Jenny Kritzkamp says that was one of the more mild rants. Well, that's a rant that me and every reasonable person ever has been having ever since Doug Ford started cracking the whip on bike lanes. Bikes on the Gardner. Yeah, there was a ride for brain health today. Only 2 people. I've heard it was actually pretty busy. This must be like right at opening or right at close. But that was pretty cool. That was pretty cool. That was pretty cool. Car flew at us, shattered the sidewalk. Almost got killed right here by a car. I heard screeching tires from the street, thought it was just some wild overtake until the car jumped the curb, flying straight towards me on the cycling lane. Thank God it swerved at the last second. You can still see the... Holy shit, this person almost died, like legitimately. It missed me, but went straight for my friend on the sidewalk right behind. She barely jumped off her bike and was just inches away. Randy Ruck, $5. Thank you, Randy Ruck. Cheers to you. Thank you so much, Randy Ruck. The car smashed into signs and ripped apart. Whenever this happens, I don't want to sound like I'm a mean person, but it better be a medical episode because there's no excuse for this happening, right? Like, if it's not a medical episode, you have no business ever driving. You just almost killed 2 people. The car smashed into signs and ripped apart and shattered a bolted trash can or something before it finally stopped. And the driver told people she hit the accelerator by accident. And the driver told people she hit the accelerator by accident. Yes. This is why self-driving cars cannot come soon enough. Say what you want, they will kill and maim far less people than people-driven cars. Most people are great. Most people can drive cars, but there's still a substantial amount of people on the road who have no business driving, and that's how people die. It's crazy. Jenny Cases shouldn't be driving that. I had a really nice experience today. Like a lady pulled up. We were on a very narrow street. I was driving to record my video, and a lady pulled up to a stop sign, and I was right behind her. She stopped. I stopped. And then I'm like, you were here first. Why aren't you going? There's no one at any of the other stops. She looked at me and waved me forward, and I was like, you go. You're here first. It's your right away. And she just smiled and waved, and then she like went really slowly, really far to her left. And we're in like a 30, like the street was a 30. So like when I say really slowly, she was doing the limit, but like A+ experience, like that's a considerate driver. Like she probably should have just gone and not waited for me. It was her turn, but like I would rather someone, you know, be mindful of the world around her than one of those assholes that just like races to the stop sign, doesn't even stop and just goes regardless as to whose turn it is, you know, goes within a meter of cyclists. I don't know, but it was a nice experience. Just the kind of thing that makes you smile and say, hey, there are people that aren't trying to maim and kill you in the world. And then there's people like this lady who thought she was hitting the brake pedal and she hit the accelerator and almost killed a few people. Bike for Brain Health Sunday. Here comes a picture of it. Yeah, that's a pretty good amount of people. If you put each of these people in a car driving by themselves, it would look like gridlock. Janice says, you first. No, you first. Yeah, that's like a very Canadian experience. I feel like we don't have experiences like that so much anymore. Or the whole like someone holds the door for you, but you're like 20 feet away. So now it's like, do I start running or do I just slowly walk towards this person holding the door? Like, what a Canadian thing. People being like overly polite and friendly. RD says, I didn't see those comments. If a comment is hateful, obviously racist or sexist, mods can just delete the comment. That's fine. If it was just a joke that might have been wrong, I don't want to ban a person for that. But if it does cross that line, they can just remove the comment. That's fine. No need to ban people for just trying to be funny. We all need to have a sense of humor. TTC signs aren't even safe in Toronto. Authentic TTC bus stop, real deal collector item, $7.50. Real TTC bus stop. It's pretty tall, about 7 to 8 feet, and weighs at least 50 pounds. How did you acquire that bus stop? If you like purchased it in an auction or something, cool. If that's stolen, fuck you. You owe the city a lot of money. I think that's kind of funny. Christo says, I hate the FKERs that don't come to a complete stop or stop short at. Yeah, I love the people that when they're at a four-way stop and they're like fourth in line, and after the first two cars go, they're like, that's long enough, I'm going. They always do it when the fourth person is like a cyclist too. They always try to go before you. It's like, fuck you. This is a one at a time system. You wait your turn. Digital Blade says that is stolen for sure. Ontario Education Minister steps in to prevent erasure of Sir John A. Macdonald, Ryerson, and Dundas from Toronto schools. All right, no comment on that. I'm sure there's a lot of wild opinions on that. Believe it or not, I don't have an opinion one way or the other about that. If it saves the taxpayer money, good. I don't know. One of those names, at least, is kind of a shitty person, though. So I wouldn't be opposed to removing them. I don't know. But when you erase the name, you erase the history lesson. And you erase the perspective. I don't know. Some things don't have a right or wrong answer. 40 years later, this plot from the TVO show Today's Special has come true as the old Simpsons store closes for the last time. Yeah, this was kind of art living out history. Pat75 says that is, of course, if the cyclist stops. You know what, Pat75? It is proven it's better for everybody if cyclists do the rolling stop at stop signs. If they treat it as a yield sign. So when other people are there first, yes, stop. But if a cyclist is there slightly before a driver, it's better for them to yield, because when they stop, they have to come to a full stop, and then it takes them forever to get their momentum again, and then the driver can go. But if they just slow down and yield, the driver doesn't have to wait for the cyclist to do all that. The cyclist doesn't have to spend all that extra energy going to a full stop and spinning up again. So that's why that's why it's called the Idaho stop. It's more efficient, right? It keeps cars moving faster and cyclists moving faster. And it's just as safe if the cyclist yields properly. I don't think that should apply to e-bikes and e-scooters and anything with the motor, just because you can just whip back to life and no problem. But actual cyclists, like the Idaho stop, makes sense. But I've never once seen like an Uber Eats guy do that properly. They always just blow through the stop sign, regardless as to whose turn it is, without yielding. They don't slow down and look. They just like fucking go right through it. I need to make a video about Uber Eats guys in Toronto. If you saw my members only video, holy shit, did I ever have an encounter with one? Like that alone could be its own.
Beep boop.
Epic Nation, $2. Beep boop. Thank you, Epic Nation, for the $2. Cheers to you. Beep boop. If you saw my my members video, you know what I'm talking about. It was like this guy, within the period of a minute, he jumped the queue on me, which is like I was first at the light, and he pulled up right next to me, like literally rubbing me. Then he goes in front of me, but doesn't yield to an ambulance because there was an ambulance coming. He doesn't slow down for that. Then he almost hits a pigeon. Then he's going like 10 kilometers an hour for some reason. He just slows right the fuck down. But instead of being on the right side of a wide bike lane, he's on the left side. So I'm like, okay, I'm just going to pass this idiot. I ring my bell just to let him know, hey, I'm passing you. He tells me, fuck you, as I pass him. I'm like, what? What did I do here? So I turned around and I called him out. And then he jumped on the sidewalk. And I was like, get the fuck off the sidewalk. You're riding an And then after all of that, I'm waiting at college and university.
People here hear the pulse of our struggles.
Yaver M, thank you for the $2. Cheers to you. Thank you, Yaver M. And then when I get to College Street, I'm waiting, and he comes flying around the corner and almost crashes into two cyclists. All of this within a minute. Like, this guy made 5 really stupid fucking maneuvers in like a minute. And imagine he's just going around all day driving like this. I don't know. I don't know. There's a lot of like, Mr. Mountain Hiker, you're awesome. I've seen you ride. You follow the rules. You're safe. You're considerate. But there's a lot of these delivery guys just riding their hulking e-bikes wherever the fuck, like wherever they please, getting in everyone's hair. It's just something we don't openly talk about. And I don't know what the city would even do about it. Like, we probably don't want to unleash the police targeting a group of cyclists. Like, it's probably the last thing we need, but we got to do something about it. It's crazy. It's crazy. I don't know. But just the way these delivery guys drive, it's fucking mental. Like, just zero regard for anyone else around them. I don't know. Epic Nation HD says 1, riding on the sidewalk, 2, turning on a red light without yielding. He also didn't yield to the ambulance though, right? That's a bad one. I don't know.
Toronto Walk YouTube streamer Johnny Strides has run in with inconsiderate Uber Eats delivery e-biker, rolling on the floor laughing emoji.
Mike with the $5. Thank you, Mike. And thank you. I don't need to ask AI for the title on that one. You just gave it to me. Thank you so much, Mike. Toronto Walktuber streamer Johnny Strides has run in with inconsiderate Uber. Hey, in all fairness, he could have been delivering for DoorDash. We don't know. He didn't have a branded delivery bag, but yeah, I don't know. Just the fact that after I was like laughing at the guy, like, this guy's an idiot. Okay, whatever, keep going. But he had the nerve to say fuck you when I passed him. It's like getting cut off by a shitty driver and then flipping you the bird. I don't know. That part just triggered me, and then we ended up in a confrontation. Like, I literally stopped my bike and turned around and told him where to go. John says all e-bikes should have license plates. You know, I don't agree with that, but I would say we need better classification. If you're riding an e-bike of a certain weight, because let's face it, that's where injury comes. That's where real danger comes. If it's like mass plus speed equals danger, you should at least have to have an Ontario driver's license, right? Not that we have standards, but you shouldn't be allowed to drive a big heavy e-bike if you haven't passed a road test and demonstrated you understand the rules of the road. Licensing, I don't think it's necessary. Insurance, definitely not necessary. But like, demonstrating that you know the rules of the road should be necessary. You have a greater responsibility on that than like a non e-bike or a light e-bike, like my mini e-bike, right? Like, I don't know. Stephanie says your confrontation was classic. They don't follow the rules of the road. Yeah, I don't know. Normally I just like bite my lip. But the fact that this guy like told me to F off, I'm like, dude, you should see yourself. This is all I did was ring my bell as a courtesy to let you know I'm passing you. And you tell me to F off? Like, what? Roxer says even the new drivers don't know the rules of the road. Yeah, someone has figured out how to game the system. They're just handing out driver's licenses like candy. I don't know. And then that creates a snowball effect. The people that had their driver's licenses see all these people getting away with like stunt maneuvers and all this bullshit. And the quality of their driving starts to decline because they don't see the cops doing anything about it. If that guy's rolling through stop signs, driving like an asshole, so can I, right? Why should they be allowed to do? And then we have what we have now, where driving is just a clusterfuck of people that don't belong on the road. I don't know. Epic Nation HD says distracted driving, aka using a phone while driving using an e-bike. You know, they just randomly slow down because they're always looking for their next order, right? They're always like going through their phones trying to find an order while they're biking. And sometimes they just randomly stop in the middle of the bike lane. Like, not they look behind you and they pull over to the side carefully, or they wait till they get to the next natural stopping point. They'll just stop in the middle of the biking lane, in the middle of their tracks. I don't know. Anyways, what are we doing here? What are we doing? Dufferin Grove, May 31st, 2025. Beautiful picture. I like it. Epic Nation HD says, I see that all the time on Blur. I just tried to take a sip of beer holding the can sideways. That's why I looked a little awkward on that. Hey, we have 292 viewers. Thank you, guys. Yeah, we're in a bit of a ranty mood tonight. I think I need to get that one off my chest. Should I make like a... I will do it or not. There's a simple thing. Translation. Should I make a rant about it? I've got endless footage. I've got endless B-roll I could use. Yes, make a video AI enhanced. Of course. Christo says they need to attach some sort of IQ test before they get their G, along with self-defense driving. I enrolled my daughter in it before I insured her. They need better. I don't disagree with you. They need better standards. They need better standards. Lisa says I should do it for the comments alone. Someone think of the comments. Someone's going to accuse me of being racist for that video. I can already see it. And it's like, dude, it's got nothing to do with who is riding the bikes and everything to do with how they're being ridden. But there's going to be a shitstorm of nasty comments on that video from... I know it's going to come. I know it's going to happen. That might be a reason why I don't want to make it. But you guys, if you guys vote for it, I will make that video. Should I make an e-bike etiquette awareness video? 93% yes, 6% no. Okay. I'll commit to making that video next week. Lisa says I will bet you $10 that doesn't happen. I will bet you... Can I show you the hidden comments, the ones that YouTube doesn't approve for release? Because if I can do that, I will just take your $10 right now. I release a normal video and I get almost more comments that are nasty than actual good comments that YouTube approves and leaves. I will easily win that $10 bet. Done. All right. But anyways, I will make that video. If I like the video, I will put it on the Strides channel. If I don't like the video, I will put it on the Stumbles channel. That's one that like could go either way, right? It's Toronto related, but it's not really walking and exploring. But I like to do one-off videos that are a little different every once in a while. Jennifer Gallus says, oh yes, they will make the comments from experience. Johnny is right. Yeah, and YouTube will rightfully hide the comments, but they will be in there. Jellybean says, do the nasty comments still help the algo? I don't think if they get blocked or hidden, I don't think they do. And then the YouTuber can approve the comments, but sometimes like someone makes a joke that I don't think is too bad. So I'll approve the comment. I'll be like, that's fine. And I'll click the check mark to allow the comment, and then YouTube still won't publish the comment. So that happens too. So like YouTube's pretty vigilant about, I think it's because ultimately YouTube is probably liable for that stuff. I don't know, but there's a lot of keyboard warriors out there. There's a lot of neckbeards in their basement writing nasty shit in the comments, but thankfully a lot of them get caught. I don't know. Anyways, let's get off this. Drivers in Toronto. Scarborough is really testing my patience. Hey, you're at Scarborough Town Center. There's Hudson's Bay. There's Walmart. How do you deal with seeing all the negativity daily? Asks Cameron. It's called being online. It's part of it. If you don't have thick alligator skin, you can't spend a day on YouTube or with any type of following on social media. Okay, so what's going bad here? Everything's good. This person's crossing the street. This Tesla's making a left turn. Everything's good. Did this car go out of order? I missed that if they did. All right. This driver is yielding. There's people walking around. There's a pickup truck going by. Am I missing? Whoa! Okay. What's going on here? That's not the place to do that. Oh, that is not the place to do that. I just lost my chat. Let me get that back. Pop out chat. FDJK848. Why didn't you honk when the idiot put his suitcase in? If that was my Uber, I would have told him to pull over. I honestly think driving and living in the GTA would be far better if the gig economy apps just shut down for a few days. Yeah, I mean, that was shitty, but I don't think that was like the worst thing I've ever seen. Whoa, this person came across a big... How does that happen? Again, that's either a medical episode or just sheer reckless driving. That is nuts. Yeah, Lisa, I figured since it was at the top of the list, it would have been a better... I haven't seen these. Guess the guy doesn't check his blind spots on the regular. This one could be good. Where is this? This looks like it steals or something. Whoa! Good reaction on that blue car. Were they even signaling? I don't see a signal. If you don't signal your turns and lane changes, you're a fucking asshole, by the way. Like, signal in advance, not as you're making them. But I don't see the signal. And they just veered into that blue SUV. Good reaction. But that's crazy. Don't drive like an idiot. Go right ahead, I guess. What's this? What? I think the passenger probably gave the driver of this the middle finger. Why? So the driver probably honked or gestured at this person. Why are you giving this driver the middle finger? You're the asshole. That is that's pretty shit. Instant justice, 407. Every time you see instant justice, that means someone got busted by the police. What are we waiting for here? Whoa, look at this. How do you go left of the median? Are you drunk? And now you're going... What? Why do you keep going forward? Why do they continue going in the wrong direction? You fucked up. Just stop where you are and fix it. Don't continue going the wrong direction. Where's the cop? Oh, here we go. That's got to be the most satisfying thing in the whole world to see. It's not often I say this. Thank you for your service. Like, that's satisfying. I wish that happened more often. How accurate are these signs? Express moving well, collector moving slowly beyond next transfer. If you've ever driven on the 401, I used to drive it daily. These signs are stupid. Express moving well. Well, guess what? Everyone who sees the sign is now moving over to the express. That's what happens when one is moving well and the other is moving slowly. Ever since I was a kid, driving in my mom or with my mom and dad on the 401, the collectors or express has been this insane gambling game, right? It's like when you go to anywhere and there's 5 lines, whichever line you pick, even if it's the shortest one, is going to take the longest. Whichever one you pick is going to be longer. If you tell everyone one is moving well, guess where everyone is going to go when they see the sign? I've literally done that. Been like, oh, it's moving well. Okay. And then now you're sitting on the express watching everyone in the collectors just fly by. Stupid signs. Just my opinion. What is this one? Fuck off, I'm turning. Are you going all the way left? CRV? Do we have audio here? No. Let's see that again. Okay, so we just completed a turn, but this person was in the lane first. That CRV should have backed off. Now they're saying like, hey, I'm going over there. Like, why is that this driver's problem? Now they're trying to like teach this driver a lesson because they cut them off. Am I following this right? Jenny K says it's like being at the grocery store and they open another till. Yeah, fortunately, I only do self-checkout now. That's a whole other rant. I can't stand people who do self-checkout who can't do it well. It's just go to the cashier. If you suck at this, just go to the cashier. There's like literally a paid professional who will do this for you. Don't stand here like, what is this? How do I do it? Oh, it's not scanning. And then like when it's time to pay, you're just like acting like this is the first time you've ever done anything in your life. Just like going through your purse or wallet for 10 minutes. Like, and then it, like for some reason, it's like, call the attendant. You're an idiot. Like, that's a whole other rant for me. But fortunately, self-checkout, people are getting better at the self-checkout. And sometimes I see cool shit. I'll see like a mom letting her like kid scan stuff when it's not busy. Stuff like that's cool. I don't know. I just lose patience for that. Vivian says, but how do we learn? I think most people, how often in this day and age do you see someone in the self-checkout for the first time ever? I think 99% of these people have been through it and they know they're not good at it and they still go back and hold everyone up. Douglas says, are you an angry young man, Johnny? No, just tonight. Just tonight. Just tonight. All right, so that's done. A wild Henry Ford Sr. National... Whoa. Well, I don't get the title of this, but... Mike T says, self-checkout is the best. It's all I use when it's an... Yeah, I use it too. Sometimes, though, it does screw up, though, right? Sometimes, like, you're legitimately doing everything right, and the attendant still has to come and, like, reset the machine or enter a code. I don't know. Sometimes it does screw up. But overall, like, it's the way to go. This looks like what? Where are we here? This looks like Dufferin? We're pretty far north. Whoa! There's a nice turn. You could make a whole YouTube channel just putting clips. Okay, this is the last one of these we'll watch. Yes, that was really worth risking your life for to get that turn in. Good job, asshole. Christopher Walking says, self-checkout says, tell us how we did today. I did great, thank you. I like it when it's like, do you want to donate to this? Blah, blah, blah. You will not get any type of charitable receipt, though. Us here at the Galen Weston Company will take all the credit and tax write-off for this donation that we are prompting you to make. Thank you. Gertes says, the water park at Canada's Wonderland is open. I was watching a dude do a vlog from Canada's Wonderland. It was his first time ever visiting. A bunch of stuff wasn't open. The Mindbuster wasn't open. The Bat wasn't open. No loss there. Don't waste your time on the Bat. A few other rides weren't open. Alpine Fury is still like a month away from opening, but it was pretty cool watching someone go through the park. He got to ride Behemoth. He did Drop Zone. He did Leviathan. He wasn't too fond of Dragonfire, which I think Dragonfire is awesome. You get those reverse corkscrews. I don't know. Ask TO. Should we be at Ask TO? Stephanie Jackson says, pale ale really causes this. Is this a bad thing or is this a good thing? Maybe it's the 5-in-1 that caused this. Maybe it's the 5-in-1. What website shows proposed Toronto developments? There's a few, but I think the best place to go to is urbantoronto.ca. Fun fact, I was on Urban Toronto back before it was even its own domain in like the mid-2000s. I was one of the original Urban Toronto people, and I had a username there that was pretty well known. And I took a lot of pictures that ended up on Urban Toronto. And then they transitioned to a new forum server. This might have been like 2005 when they did that. And I lost my post history. And I just gave up and I stopped posting on. I was like, fuck this. I just lost the person that I was. And I stopped caring about Urban Toronto. But I still go there every once in a while. I found a dog in my neighborhood. Now what? I found the owner, played with the dog 2 hours straight. He finally let me put a leash on him. This is an awesome person. I'm sure there's a really wholesome, good story there. Anything better than watching an animal, a pet, and their owner get reunited? All right, Lisa, have a good night. Thank you for the thumbnail, eh? Why is Toronto subway system so bad? because nobody funds it. I recently returned from a trip to Europe and couldn't help but notice how much better their transportation systems are, even in cities that are less wealthy than ours. Clean, efficient public transit. Yeah, our priorities are ass backwards. We let suburban car brain elect half of our city councilors. The province is run by suburban car brain. The feds only flex big transit investments when it is election time and it makes them look good, like the high-speed rail. I don't know. We're fucked. My opinion is it's a mix of politicians starving the system and a North American culture that prioritizes cars over transit. The TTC receives, well, nice try there, the lowest proportion of government funding compared to all the large North American networks. Even Vancouver has more funding proportionately. That is very true as well. They rely on the fare box more than any other network. Teenager-friendly Pride events. Oh yeah, it's Pride Week. Didn't like a few big, or Pride Month, didn't a few big sponsors just back out? I'm heading to Blue Mountain in a few weeks for a conference. I had intended to use Flixbus. All right. You're better off booking an airport limo or similar car service. It might cost you more, but I doubt you'll have much luck getting an Uber to take you for that drive. Greg says, how do you like Mark Carney? The jury is still out. There's really nothing to comment on. I don't normally get that. I don't want to like divide viewers and be like, I'm all for one politician or another, just because I don't want this to be like a left versus right channel. Like, everyone's welcome. I'm just another idiot out there. My opinion doesn't really matter, but he's brand new. He's brand new. The jury's still out. Right? Remember all the hate Olivia Chow got when she took over? And like, she's been fine. Right? So I prefer to be like neutral, as Roxer says. Like, I don't want to create, I think people don't come to, they might like my crazy rants on things, but I don't think we need to be so divided like they are down south. Like, it's cool. It's cool. So I probably won't tell you my opinion on him one way or the other. It's just not what my channels are about. But truthfully, the jury is still out. Dude literally just got there, right? Like, Parliament just opened. They haven't done anything yet. It is what it is. All right. I think, should we do a few phone calls? Do you guys want to do a phone call or two or three? Holy shit, it's 9:50. You can tell I already have tomorrow's video edited, locked and loaded, ready to go, thumbnail and everything, because I haven't been so eager to get off the stream when I realize it's 9:30 on a Sunday night that I have to edit a whole video. Jillian Felix says Hudson's Bay will be missed. It will be. Hey, I haven't even announced the phone call, but we've already got a guest caller. We're gonna do quick calls tonight. Hello, is this Dylan Reynolds' father?
Oh, it's me. It's me again, Johnny.
What's up, Dylan? How's it going?
Doing good.
I'm just pulling the green screen down.
Like, so I heard what happened. I watched a little bit of the video clip of the what happened earlier.
Of what clip?
That you were. I heard what happened down at the Don River.
Oh, yeah, no, it's just the recreational trail is under construction, and there was nothing to indicate that it was closed, and it was wide open, so I ended up riding through a construction zone. That's all. I kind of knew in the back of my mind it wasn't open, but there was literally no signage to indicate that it was closed, and there was nothing physically closed, and some other cyclists went in too, so that's all.
Yeah. And I was actually what you had, yeah, and I was also on the Beers and Cheers stream again with Jeff, and his brother came on, actually.
Oh, wow. Does his brother look like him?
Yeah, I think He actually started a YouTube channel. I don't know. I might probably tell you probably next week, but.
All right. Well, Dylan, I'm going to ask you, do you have a joke for us?
Oh, Dad has another. Oh, he has another. Well, he has one.
All right, put him on.
Okay.
Mr. Reynolds.
Here I am.
How's it going?
Hello, sir. Well, I do have a joke for you, and it's, why should a successful boxer make socks out of underwear?
Why should a successful boxer make socks out of underwear? You got me.
So he can be undefeated.
So he can be undefeated.
Yeah, undefeated. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you, Mr. Reynolds. And the crowd goes wild. Well, Dylan and Dylan's father, thank you so much for calling in, and I hope you guys have an awesome week ahead.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Dylan. Cheers.
All right. Bye.
That was Dylan Reynolds. What's my own phone number here? If you want to call in, you can call in at... Oh, Alicia Lewis sent a super sticker. Alicia Lewis, 99 cents. Sorry about that. Thank you, Alicia. Thank you so much for the super. Oh, we're getting a 404 number just as I was about to post it. We already have people calling in. Hello there. Oh, it says connecting, but it's not actually connecting. That's weird. I don't want to show my screen, but it's not making the connection. We're doing short and sweet phone calls tonight. 9658. There we go. There's the phone number. Hello there.
Hello.
Is this Peter Bradfield?
Yes, it is.
How the heck are you doing?
Well, I'm doing okay. There's a lot of things I'm waiting on. It's more the case. I'm glad I called you tonight because I probably won't. There'll probably be a couple of Sundays where I probably will not be able to coming up. I did want to ask you something that I've addressed to a couple of your couple of the people in chat. I'm having trouble still getting to chat on your Strides channel because it's still saying that I signed up on your channel on vids that were aimed towards children. And I'm trying to figure that out. I don't remember doing so.
All right, that's one sec. Michael, thank you so much for the $1, Michael. Peter, yeah, that's weird because none of my videos are marked as for children. So that is like your comments, like they don't get flagged or anything like that. You just can't leave them.
Yeah, I can't even enter anything except if I donate money.
Yeah, no, that shouldn't be. Does it give you an error?
Yeah, it gives me the error that I can't do so.
Can you do me? I'm a little bit tipsy right now, but can you leave me that error in a Johnny Stumbles comment, and I will look it up for you, maybe in the comments to this stream, and I'll see if I can figure out what's going on.
Yes, I'll do that.
Yeah, I don't know. I can if you want me to, if you want, or you can send it to johnnystrides@gmail.com if you don't want to make it public. I am like 90% of those emails end up in my spam folder, and I never even see them though. That whole email address is just full of like spammers and hackers. So that's probably not. The comments is the best way to contact me.
Yes, I'll try to send it through the comments.
And then
That's probably the way I'd rather do it.
Yeah, and I'll take a look at it.
It makes me scratch my head big time. I think the biggest thing that I'm having issues with personally right now is my loss of weight. I'm having trouble trying to figure out my body is still trying to get used to the difference in the weight. I guess it's not a bad thing, but it's a little bit unusual, for me. But I am sleeping better, which is one thing that's really good. So
Well,
I'll take that.
That's good.
I do have a joke for tonight.
All right. What do you have for us?
Why did the bicycle fall over in June?
In June?
Yes.
So why did the bicycle fall over in June? You got me, Peter.
Because it was too tired.
Ha! Would that work with any month, or is there something I'm missing that makes that work with June? Oh, sorry guys, I'm getting an advertisement in the middle of my Sorry, Peter. We just got an ad in the middle of our phone call for solitaire cash. And I don't know how to cancel the ad. So there doesn't seem done. I gotta wait 5 seconds for the ad to go away. 3. Sorry about that, Peter, but thank you for the awesome joke. Are you gone? Peter, sorry about that, but thank you for calling in, Peter. I wish you all the best. I will do my best to get back to you in the comments. My free account so rudely interrupted us with an ad. Moments with Muzzy, $2.99. Thank you, Moments with Muzzy. Thank you very much for the $2.99. Cheers to you. And as far as should I make an e-bike etiquette awareness video, 130 people voted. 88% said yes, 12% said no. So I'll put that on my my list of things to do next week. This week. Wing Zero says hello from Australia. Hope you visit someday, but stay out of water. Wing Zero, you're all the way in the land where toilet water spins in the wrong direction. Yes, I said wrong direction. If you want to call in, 647-313-9658. Hopefully, we won't get interrupted with an advertisement. Hey, we got a 647 number calling. Hello there.
Hello? Oh, hello, Johnny.
Hey, is this Harjot?
That's me, yeah.
I have recognized all 3 callers tonight by their voice.
Yeah.
How's it going, Harjot?
I'm okay. How are you?
I'm good as well. What'd you do this weekend?
Today, I stayed home, went to Woodbine Mall.
Oh, did you go to the fantasy fair?
Yeah, I just saw some fantasy fair on the rides I saw.
How was that?
Yeah, it was okay.
Good.
Yeah, then after I just walked around there too at the Woodbine Mall.
Have you ever been to Woodbine Racetrack right across the street from the mall?
I never been there before, the Woodbine Racetrack. But I just passed it there. I just passed it.
Yeah, it's kind of. I used to go there I went to Woodbine Mall a few times as a kid, but my dad would like to go to the horse races probably more often than I should be telling people we did. And I used to go watch the horses at Woodbine. It's a pretty awesome experience if you've never done it. So.
Oh yeah, that's good. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, Harjot, do you have a joke for us?
No.
No joke.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I was gonna ask you that I made a new channel on YouTube.
You made a new YouTube channel. Is it called Harjot Stumbles?
No, it's at Harjot Explorer around Toronto. You can search it up on YouTube.
Harjot Explorer?
Yeah, Explore around Toronto.
You know what? Why don't you leave a comment on this live stream using that YouTube account? And that way, if anyone wants to see it, they can just click on your comment. How's that?
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's good. On the comments, right? On the YouTube or on the chat?
Yeah, for this live stream in the comments. So anyone watching the replay or watching now can just click on your name in the comments, and that'll lead to your new channel if anyone wants to check that out.
Oh, okay. On the comments, right?
Yeah. Just leave a comment, and then maybe next Sunday we can take a look at your new channel on the stream.
Okay,
It's just I've already got the green screen down. We're not sharing the screen anymore.
Oh, okay. No worries. Okay.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for calling in, Harjot.
Yeah, no problem, Johnny. No problem.
All right. Have an awesome week.
Okay, you too, Johnny.
Cheers.
Oh, cheers.
Yoink. Well, Harjot. We've had Peter Bradfield. We've had Dylan Reynolds. Michael says, I remember when Harjot was on this channel for a long time. Yeah, Harjot's been around for a very long time, and he has a YouTube channel. It's so time consuming and so much work to have one YouTube channel. Launching a second one, you got to be a little bit crazy to do that, like me. Hello there. Who are we speaking with? Hello. Hi. How's it going? Gertes Bauer. Gertes, how was your weekend? Awesome, Gertes. Is there anything you want to tell everyone? Good. Well, Gertes, there's a lot of people out there that I think are very happy that you called in and they got to hear you. Cam says hi, Gertes. Jollykin says hi, Gertes. Jellybean says Gertes. Phuket Walk. Alex, all the way from Thailand, is saying hello, Gertes, with the thumbs up. Alicia Lewis, Jenny Kritzkamp, Marge, Caroline, Claudia M. Gertes. Kurt Affair wants to know, did you watch The Terminator?
No, not this weekend.
Not this weekend. Not awesome. What's the next movie you're gonna watch? Awesome. Well, Gertes, I want to thank you so much for calling in. I'm sure people are very, very happy that you called in. You're very, very popular in the chat.
I am.
Yeah, people are really happy when you're in the chat. And I just want to say thank you so much for watching both of my channels for so long.
Almost a year now.
Yeah, it's been a very long time. Mike says he's going to watch Jerry Maguire tonight. Have you seen Jerry Maguire?
Nope. I'm only more Arnold movie.
More Arnold. You're not a Tom Cruise fan, eh?
No.
Well, Gertes, would you like to say goodnight to everybody? That was really cool, Gertes. Thank you so much for calling in, and hasta la vista, baby, to you too. All right, have a good night. Oh, wow, that was Gertes. Jellybean says Gertes is the coolest. Kurt Affair says good to hear you. We'll take one or two more calls tonight. 647-313-9658 are the digits. Is the number? That makes sense. Are the numbers? That makes, I don't know, plural, singular. I don't know. I had too much to drink this weekend. We'll just leave it at that. The first thing I do tomorrow morning is work out. I'm not looking forward to that. I give myself the weekend off, and then we're back to kicking the shit out of me tomorrow. Hey, we've got a 437 number calling. Hello there.
Hey, Johnny. It's Jellybean.
Hello. Sorry, I didn't get your name.
Jellybean.
Oh, first time caller?
Yeah. Gertes didn't tell you he went to Mandarin today.
Oh, Gertes. Which Mandarin did he go to?
I don't know.
You don't know. Well, you need to do
That's
better.
your question?
Yeah, that's my question for you. That's the information I want from you when you call in. What Mandarin did Gertes go?
I could find out and let you know later.
Since you're so super duper opinionated on everything, what's the best and worst Mandarin location?
Ooh. I don't know. I don't want to give away my location, so I'll just say the best one's the one by your house.
Well, that's easily the best one because it only takes like 6 minutes to get there, right? Even if
the one on Finch, I like that one.
All right, there we go. Now we get the real answer. So do you have anything
it's still there.
Do you have anything to share with us tonight other than Gertes went to the Mandarin?
I loved the rants tonight. And Mike says that I caused them all, so that's always good.
I don't think you caused a single rant.
Okay.
But if
Not the printer rant.
No, I was going on that tangent anyways. Were you? No, it was Lisa who said, "Why do you still have a printer?" I think that was the comment
I said that too.
I think one of those comments triggered me, and then we ended up with a printer rant. But you have.
Yeah, you're very triggered tonight. But that's okay.
Yeah, you have.
The Midtown rant.
Midtown is not mid.
Mike says he was joking.
Bill Chow
No,
says
Ron,
Mandarin
I
at
don't
Young
have a
Eglinton is the best. Very convenient. I agree with you, Bill Chow. But I think all Mandarins are pretty much the same experience. I don't think there's such thing as like a bad Mandarin and a good Mandarin. They're all pretty. It's like literally the same food on the same spread. I don't really think there's.
I order it a lot more than I sit in there.
Oh.
I like to order it.
You order Mandarin takeout?
Yes.
You defeat the purpose of an all-you-can-eat buffet. You
Well,
might
you use hair powder, so we're
Nope.
even.
Yeah, so what? What is wrong with hair powder?
It was weird. Sorry.
I need to do that again. Anyways,
Cam.
do you have anything of value to share with everyone tonight?
No, I just wanted to say hi to everybody.
And do you have a joke for us?
No joke. You shit on all my jokes.
I do, because they're terrible. But thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for calling in. And Dixon Cider, don't say that name.
Tell Peter to make a new account. He's not going to be able to fix that. Just tell him to make a new account. Make a new account, Peter. That's what I think you should do.
Peter, post your error message. If worst comes to worst, I can always ask my YouTube rep. There's solutions other than making another account, by the way. But we'll.
I don't think you can fix that.
I've had
Nadia,
I've had strings pulled. We can have them pulled again. It's very possible. Dixon says they have the best sneeze guards at Scarborough Mandarin. Awesome. Well, Jellybean, thank you. If you don't have a joke, I'm gonna have to let you go.
Oh, I got a hockey jersey at the Jays game. It's cute.
If my hands were free, they would be slow clapping.
Lame.
All right. Well.
Old Cam says I'm funnier than you.
If we
Right,
both
Cam?
if we both did an open mic night, I'm pretty sure you'd be the one getting slayed. Anyways, thank you for calling in on that bombshell. Have a good.
Not if my top was smaller than yours. Okay. I'll see you
That
later.
doesn't even qualify as a joke, and the fact that you're laughing at that. Anyways, have a good night. Anyway.
It's true though. Okay, see ya. Bye.
All right, that was Jellybean. We haven't had a first-time caller tonight. It's been all people who have called in multiple times. But thank you for calling in. We'll take one more call. 647-313-9658. How many people do we have watching? We have 230. It says concurrent viewers 230, and that says 209. I've got conflicting information. Either way, thank you so much for calling in, everybody. Claudia M still doesn't have the nerves to call in. Gertes asking, where is Diva Tequila? Where is David Little? Says hi there. Long time no see. Hello, David. If no one calls in within a minute, we're just going to end the stream. Oh, we've got our last caller. Oh, missed call. We just missed it. Now we've got a 506 number. Let me put this on speaker. Hello there.
Hello.
Hey, who are we speaking with?
Brand new caller, Cameron from New Brunswick.
Cameron from New Brunswick. You win the door prize for tonight, being the first new caller. Good stuff. I've been to New Brunswick once, and I was too small to remember it. How's things in New Brunswick?
Well, still small. It's still small.
Are you born and raised New Brunswick?
Yes, born and raised in New Brunswick.
What do you call someone from, like, Ontario? You're an Ontarian. What's someone from New Brunswick? A New Brunswickite?
I would say New Brunswicker.
New Brunswicker. Yeah, that makes so much more sense. I was thinking like New Brunswickonian. Like, I don't know.
That's true. It could be.
Could be. What area in New Brunswick are you from?
So I'm in Moncton.
Oh.
So it would be the largest of the population centers.
Moncton. I heard a rumor once they were trying to get you guys a CFL team that would share with Moncton and another city. That was a long time ago. I might be just making stuff up here. I don't know.
No, that would be cool. That would be cool. But you got to get yourself to New Brunswick at some point.
Yeah, I do. The East Coast is beautiful, right? Like, it's like Canada, so big and geographically diverse. I think the East Coast is definitely somewhere I need to get back.
Absolutely. It's a great time. You could make a weekend trip, and you could see the whole East Coast.
The holiest coast?
For the most part. I mean, everything's within, a 2-hour drive of everything.
Oh, the whole East Coast. I thought you said the holiest coast. I was like, oh, is there something I'm missing here? Yeah. I'm hearing things. Yeah, New Brunswick, PEI, Newfoundland. There's a whole lot out there. Do you ever make your way over to Toronto?
So my family is from Toronto, and it's funny because I've been watching your videos now for a few years and watching you go around all these places. And now when I go visit the family back in Toronto, I know the streets better than they do, and they live there. So it's funny to see.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, thank you so much for watching the channel and for calling in. Do you have anything you want to share with everyone tonight?
No, that was it. Just wanted to say I appreciate your videos. They're great.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you watching. Without people like you, there would be no videos, right? So thank you so much. And you know what I'm going to ask now? Do you have a joke for us?
I do. I have a really good one, too.
Well, my speakerphone keeps shutting off, but let's hear it.
Okay. Why did the chicken cross the road?
I have never heard this one before. Why did the chicken cross the road? You got me.
Okay, so it's to get to the other side.
Was that the punchline?
That was it. Have you ever heard of that one?
I don't know if you're ever allowed to call back. No, I'm just kidding. Well, thank you so much, Cameron from New Brunswick. Yeah, I'm definitely going to have to make my way out to the East Coast. I went when I was like, my parents tell me I went when I was like 1 or 2. I have no recollection of going, so I'm going to have to go back. I've been pretty bad at seeing the rest of Canada. But thank you so much for calling in.
Yes, thank you, and have a wonderful evening.
You too, sir. Have a great week. Cheers.
All right.
And I had a bunch of missed calls, but on that note, all right, Peter, hopefully that fixes it. But on that note, the phone's in airplane mode. We have overshot our 90-minute time allotment. I'm surprised. Jennifer Gala says, thank you. Good night. Thank you, Jennifer Gala. I'm going to just do a little experiment. I'm going to put the other microphone back on. All right, the other microphone is back on. Now I'm going to put the AI-ness I added to it, the noise suppression. There we go. So this is the very cheap microphone that I made sound expensive by using the miracle of AI. We're going to see if this causes any problems with the picture slowing down and buffering, because I think that might have been the cause of things earlier. Yeah, my CPU usage just shot right up. So I don't think this is usable for streaming. Very usable for not streaming. But thank you, Sheena Roberts, Jeremy Joseph, Jellybean, Gertes, Crying Hippie, Mike, Cam, Bill Chow, Marge, Whippy Dude, Carolyn, Medano, Crying, I've already said some of your names, Christopher Walking. Thank you, everyone, so much for calling in. Thank you to those who sent support. There'll be a video on Johnny Strides tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. EST. I don't know if I'm going to live stream tomorrow. If I don't live stream tomorrow, I will live stream Tuesday on the Strides channel. And I guess I committed to doing a video this week on e-biking. So I got to make that happen somehow. I don't know why I did that. I'm going to be angry at myself later. Sandra, thank you. Kurt, Maroof. And thank you to everybody who called in tonight. You guys were great. It was a pleasure speaking with you all. I hope we get your issue resolved, Peter, and we'll speak to you in a few weeks as well. Thank you, Ron Hendricks and Mike. I don't know why I didn't put the chat back where the camera is. I'm an idiot. Now it looks like I'm actually looking towards the camera. Mary W., Claudia, Janice, good night. Gertes, thank you for calling in as well. All right, I'm going to hit that magic button. Your stream will stop immediately and you will no longer be live. I guess this is the end. Have a good night, guys. Yoink.